the NBA. Not going to talk about a specific game. I want to talk about ratings, right? The ratings that people have been talking about when it comes to the NBA. So you see it there, 18% down from last year, and people have been really talking about this and worried about, what's going on with the NBA. So I don't want to do this by myself. Mo, you can drop in the screen here. I'm going to tell you why I think, the ratings are down. And you can tell me if you agree or if you got your own things. And I think it's a multitude of things. So hear me out when I say this, right? Um, as far as like the style of basketball that's being played, I think with that combination, you have three, 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 three. Everybody know about the three ball, and you've heard me say this before. I really don't think it's more of, hey, they're just taking way too many threes. I think it's really who's taking the threes. I think there are some players that may not need to take as many threes as they're taking, or they're taking, bad shots. And it's just, we're going to go to analytics. Analytics says you put up more threes than XYZ. Okay, that's fine, but you're still there to entertain. So if it's not entertaining to your customer,
Mhm.
then you're going to have a problem with it. And then I think the other thing is, on it, and I'll let you talk, Mo, because I got some other things that I want to mention, but I just do think that the people that was diehard NBA fans are like me, like you, and our age bracket, and you have this generation that's coming up that has their attention, that other things have their attention as far as like what they want to do or what they can do or what's accessible, to them. So I don't think they care about the brand of basketball like we did. And it was a different brand. It was a little bit more physical and everything. So you didn't have all this, and I hate this, all this flopping that went on, and just people flailing and all this, like, and that is a turnoff to people. Not to mention, people sitting out. We've already talked about that, so we don't need to talk about that. But Mo, that's where I'm going with it. I don't think it's just people
Yeah.
just hate the guys. I just think it's a multitude of things that's playing a part of why this thing has started to decrease.
Yeah. For me, it's hard to watch the game now because, and I got a few problems with it. I got a few things that I think are reasons for the low ratings. So I'm watching basketball the other night. I can't even remember who I watched, but you taking 3, 4 steps, go up with the ball, come back down. Then I mean, it's. I'm like,
Hmm.
come on. I mean, that right there is something that fundamental basketball is. It seemed like it's no longer a part of the game. And you had the whole wave with the point guards and the shooting guard. You got these combo guards now, right? But
Hmm.
then that kind of spilled over into the forwards and the centers. No
Yeah.
true big men exist. At least
No.
true big men that play that big man position. You don't
No,
have
that's
that
the
no more.
thing.
You
Right.
just don't have it no more. And I also think for me, it's like when you look at the contract situations, when we were coming up, you identify players with teams, right? Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Pistons, Tim Duncan, San Antonio Spurs, so forth and so on. I don't know who's gonna be playing where next year. It's like
Right.
so many 1 year contracts. It's like and but
Mhm.
then the situation with what's my boy from the Sixers, Joel Embiid, right?
Mhm.
Beginning of the season, he coming out talking about I'm not playing back to back games. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing. It's like the
Right.
players are spoiled. No more fundamental basketball. Bad contracts where players just bouncing around the league. You may play for 30 teams before you retire, and I understand that's something that happened in football as well, but nowhere to the degree of what you see in the NBA. And
Yeah.
football is America's sport, so don't try to compete with that. You got football here, and then you got let me get in the camera. You got football, and then you got everything else,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so you can't do what they do.
And you're on to something too, with that, Mo, because you were talking about guys, kind of being in one place or whatever. But I think also what because of that movement, what you've missed from that is the rivalries, because
Right.
we knew New York and Miami, the Knicks and the Heat. That was a rivalry. But because
Hmm.
guys move around so much now, you really can't have those rivalries like you used to. You'll still have the old blueprint of Lakers versus Celtics, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Once when LeBron moved on from Cleveland, you couldn't use the Warriors in Cleveland, situation, and other guys have moved on. So yeah, that movement I think probably has hurt viewership. But the one other thing, and we'll get off of it here, but one other thing I think I truly believe is that I think the NBA need to figure out a way for their current fans, their younger fans, I should say, and
Hmm.
the ones that's in our age bracket, but their younger fans being able to fall in love with said player. And what I'm getting at is that back in the day, and I'm not trying to sound like an old fogey, but it was guys went to school for 2, 3 years, sometimes 4. So
Hmm.
you got that chance to build that rapport, identify, know who that person is, fall in love with them, follow them, know who they are. And then when they go to the NBA, especially if they went to, your team, then you're definitely, somebody that you would keep up with. And I just think because they've expanded so much and players are coming from everywhere, literally everywhere in the world, I don't know if there's a funnel to where people can kind of keep up with these guys because you don't have that much that Luca, they were talking about Luca when he was 16. So by the time
Right.
he got 19, he was on his way to the pros. If there was something that was there, I think Wemby is 19 when he came to the league. So if there's something
Hmm.
maybe the NBA has, something that they focus on or identify or target for, hey, you know what? This is the next upcoming generation. Hey, he's 14, but we're going to funnel this to you so you know who this
Right.
person is. So you hear about this
Right.
person. So when they
Great
finally do
point.
get to the NBA, it's not something that's just like, okay, who is this person? Because the
Exactly.
diehard NBA fan is going to probably know who that person is. But the fan that you're trying to keep, and I think the fan that you do want, to tune into these games, they're gonna be like, I don't know who that is, so I don't have any
Right.
vested interest. So
Yeah. I mean, like we follow sports, so a lot of these kids didn't even know who Anthony Edwards was till he got to the league and started playing. One of the only things that's holding this younger generation to the game is probably 2K. My son sit there and play all the time. He played 2K more than he watched the NBA. That's how
yeah,
he know these players and identify them.